Well, hello, mechanical keyboard nerds. In today's video, we are going to be unboxing and unbagging the NuPhy, doesn't matter, Halo65 mechanical keyboard and some accessories. So, two things before I get started. Number one, this is going to be a little bit more casual of a video. I'm going to take my time, just relax. Just keyboard and chill with me. I got nothing. Number two, NuPhy did send me this keyboard for free. All opinions are absolutely my own. I hold nothing back. They did not pay me anything, but I just wanted to let you know they did send me this for free. So, Halo65, by the way, some interesting features from my reading. I haven't tried it yet, but I read about it, and there's some interesting stuff here that I'm excited to see. Lighting, the just sound dampening, the Gateron collab switches. Pretty excited to see this stuff. Accessorize here, which we will open in a second. Really cool looking wrist rest. It's like translucent. Sent me some extra keycaps, etc., etc. Let's dive in. So this keyboard runs in the like $100 price range-ish. Actually, a little bit more. I think like 110, 120 bucks or whatnot. I still consider this in the budget-ish range, I guess. It's not like 70, 80 bucks like a bunch of the old Keychron models or whatever, but there's a lot of extra thought that went into this keyboard from my reading that I think if this is good, and I think I have high expectations here, if this is good, it's actually going to be superb for that price. If it's good. I think it will be. Oh, they have like a whole list of the features right here on the box. Can read some to you. So I got the 65 version. They do have a few other size versions. This one came with some nice PBT keycaps from what I understand. It's wireless, hot swappable PCB, pairs with a couple of different devices, Mac and Windows. If I can get it open here. Aluminum case, actually half aluminum, half plastic, I believe, is what I read. And we'll take a look at that as we come to it. Did I miss anything? 4,000 mAh battery, M-A-H battery. I don't know how to say that. Anyways, pretty typical features from like a pre-built keyboard. Wireless, hot swappable, those are the big things right here. But it also includes a bunch of little interesting sound dampening experiments, including an interesting spacebar from what I read, which we'll look at. I don't know why, but we got weeb stuff here. It's okay. I have nothing against you if you're into weeb stuff. I'm not. And let's see, quick guide, tutorials. It's ridiculous. Okay, here is the keyboard right here. That's looking nicely packaged. Pull this lid off, protecting the keyboard right here. It's also bagged. Ooh, it's absolutely heavy. Holy cow. Wow. That's really, really, really heavy. Like, twice as heavy. That's my Kit Adam Lego keyboard here. It's literally 3 times heavier than this one. Probably twice as heavy as some of the other ones. That's magnormous heavy. I like that. Feels solid. Anything else in the box? Oh, look at that! It's like a hidden thing here. Sent me a hidden package. Alright. Sorry, NuPhy. Thank you, but no thanks. Look at this! Oh, sent me extra switches, too. I'm guessing this is more instructions. It is. Don't care. Alright. That's all in that box. Extra keycaps, just for some fun. Extra colors here. Some extra switches to try, which is really interesting. By the way, I like that they offer Gateron G Pro. This is like the perfect middle ground of switch. Like, you could go super fancy, which no one does in pre-built keyboards, really. Or you can go super cheap. But, like, Gateron Pro switches, that's like right in the good middle ground, I feel like. And apparently they have 2 collabs. I actually saw on the box right before I started this video, the Baby Kangaroo tactile switches. They also have a linear version. I think it's Baby Raccoon or something. I don't remember. That is what they sent me, which I'm actually really excited about. We'll talk more about those in a second, but you can also apparently try out some of these other switch. I don't really know why they sent that. Just for fun, I guess. Maybe just to have an extra one. Those are all different types, though. Anyways, cool looking keycap puller. Looks solid right there. as well as your standard USB cord. All right, I'm excited about it. It's interesting. This space bar they sent me, the extra one, is a normal space bar. Nothing super fancy about it. But as I understand it, this one is not normal. It's fancy, which we'll see in a second. So I think I really want to impress upon you, if you're thinking about buying this keyboard, just how insanely heavy it is. In a good way. You could do workouts with this thing. It's amazing. So, ooh, I think I'm going to like that. Before the sound test, let's just take a look here. Let's zoom in a little bit. You don't need to see me, right? It's whatever. I just want to speak a second about some of the design stuff here. Number one, I personally love it. I think this looks really cool. It's not focusing on the keyboard. I think it looks absolutely amazing. It's just cool. I love the lines on the bottom. I love the color accents. This is apparently the USB port, which you take the thing off here. Whoops. Oh, that's the dongle. I didn't realize it had a dongle. Apparently it does. Dongle. There you go. Consider it donged. Wired mode and Bluetooth toggle switch right there. That is also the on-off switch. You can turn it off and then wired, wireless. There's the USB port. And it's got the dual layer feet, or actually it's tri-mode, I guess. You could get it like all the way up, or you could get it halfway up. Right there, depending on what angle you want to type at. This is definitely not a low profile keyboard. They do have the, what is it called? Air, not the Halo, but the Air 65 or whatever. I think it's called the Air. You have to double check me on this. And those are low profile. What else we got? It says open. I don't know what we're gonna do here, but we're gonna open it. Why? What are we opening? It looks pretty. That's like a nice plate. So apparently this part of the case is aluminum, and it is aluminum. It feels like it. I think this part right here, the bottom half, is actually plastic, which is to let wireless through better. Wireless signals from the keyboard. Apparently it connects better, holds a wireless signal better through plastic. At least that's what I read. I have no experience with that, but that's what it says. Nice little like chrome plated thing right here. Just cool design. I like the way this feels. It's got feet, dampening. That's always good. You don't want your keyboard rolling around your desk as you type on it. It looks amazing. So let's do a sound check first. Right here, I'm actually going to grab my mat. I'd like to be consistent for sound tests, if at all possible. And this is the mat. I usually use a felt mat for all these sound tests. So let's actually do that first, right here, right now. All right, so let's dive in to this keyboard, quite literally. Actually, first impressions, this keyboard is insanely complicated once you try and understand like all the things that are going on here. There's a lot, and it's pretty different than most other like pre-built budget keyboards. But I gotta say, 10 minutes of typing, delightful. I'm really happy with what I feel and see so far. Really happy with it. By the way, you're gonna see a lot of the lighting effects that doesn't actually flicker in real life. That's like my camera going on. So if you see it like flickering right here, it's not the keyboard, it's me doing YouTube videos. The lighting looks fantastic. All right, come on in here. Let's start with the space bar. Shoo. So let's talk about this. Inside here is an extra keycap sort of thing underneath the spacebar keycap with some weird like hard acrylic or something material right there, and some walls on either side that supposedly, you know, dampen the stabilizer sound. I'm trying to get my face out of the picture so it'll focus. It's interesting. It's really cool. And if you actually check on the the plate right here, there is more silicone dampening material right here. It's like squishy. You can feel it. It's kind of nice. And by the way, super sharp tactile kangaroo switches all up here. They actually put a linear, looks like a black, obviously. Probably a Gateron G Pro black right there. I don't know why they did that per se, but there you go. And this works, by the way. If you want a loud, thocky spacebar, this is not the keyboard for you. This is the opposite. This is nice and soft and muted and clean sounding. It doesn't feel smushy. I think that was like my first shock here. Is like, oh, it sounds like there's so much like marshmallows up underneath there. No, it feels great. It feels absolutely fine. It feels normal. Sounds very muted, which I personally like. Now, let's move on to talk about the baby kangaroos really quick. I have not actually taken any of these out. Whoop. Okay, there we go. All right, look at this. Baby kangaroo tactile. They have a baby, maybe it's like some other creature, raccoon maybe, if I remember correctly, that is a linear switch version. Really happy with these. I don't know all the specs of these switches, but it is very, very crisp. Very, very sharp, crisp bump right up top of the keystroke. And I like the sound. Very, very crisp wooden sound. Obviously, they did so much dampening in this keyboard. There's not a whole lot of resonance. There's not a whole lot of hollow sound. Again, that's my personal preference, which I actually enjoy. If you want a deeper, thockier thing, I don't know, you might not do this. But in general, I really like the way these switches feel. Very tactile. So on the sound dampening side of things, they have a few different layers of silicone and additional sound dampening materials in the bottom of the case. And then I think between the plate and PCB or whatnot. It's probably pretty standard stuff for, you know, custom mechanical keyboards, but you don't see it a whole lot on the sub $100 keyboards. This one's like 110, 120. It feels great. It makes it super heavy. That and the aluminum case, very, very heavy, which I actually like. It feels quality. Another thing I'll mention, I'm not a massive fan of just, you know, RGB backlighting everywhere, but this is really clean. I like the whole, it's on the front too, front, back, and side, this little strip of LED right here. And of course you can like customize the colors and stuff like that if you want to. I'm actually a big fan of the way this looks. It's not over the top. They did send some shine through keycaps, which I'm not going to use, actually. I like the PBT look up top. I don't want my colors shining through, but I like it shining outside on the case. And really cool feature alert, this one right up here actually shows your battery power in a gradient. It's like super bright green teal color when your battery is fully charged, apparently. Mine is not, because I just took it out of the case. It's charging right now, so it's flashing like orangey red. And apparently I just like that. You can always see how much battery power you have left when you're not going wired, of course. That's really handy. It's a nice, pretty little gradient right at the top of the keyboard. A plus, NuPhy. By the way, as a gamer who plays on PC a lot and works on a MacBook, which is what I'm recording this video on right now, I appreciate that they send both types of keycaps, Windows and Mac, and this thing actually has support for some of the fancier Mac features. You know what I mean? Like if you use a Mac, you know what I'm talking about. You can't find them on normal keyboards, but this includes support right out of the box for Mac. And I didn't actually change anything on my Mac computer right here. The command and control keys, it just worked. A plus. And I can use it for gaming too. Plug it right there on the Windows computer. I like that. Thank you for that. As somebody with massive hands and fingers, I don't actually use wrist rests all that much. But you know what I like? A well-designed wrist rest. Even just to look at, quite frankly. And I think they did a really cool thing here. They're kind of pairing this translucent idea with I have no idea what that is, probably more feet, with the front of the keyboard. So you put it on here and the light that comes through the LED strip on the front actually shines through the wrist rest just a little bit. It looks even better in the dark too. Also, last note about the wrist rest, I approve of leather or fake leather. This is like translucent acrylic. It's hard as a rock, and it feels good and smooth. And let's be frank here, especially if you're like gaming or typing and working all day, your hands sweat. And it gets kind of gross. And I don't like stickiness when it comes to wrist rest. This doesn't have that, and it won't have that. Very easy to clean, and it just looks nice and slick. It's beautiful. I think that's a great design right there. So to sum up, if you want a super loud, ringy, hollow, thocky spacebar, you might not get this keyboard. Or you might see if you can't take the silicone off or use another spacebar or something, because it is a very nice muted spacebar. I prefer this, and so I love it. The tactile switches, again, these are the baby kangaroos, I really approve of. I love tactile switches in general, and these are on the crisper, sharper side, both in terms of sound and feel, which again, I personally like. Man, the keyboard is super heavy. I think this is a great design. It's really fun. It's a little bit different. It just looks and feels great. I'm actually really surprised and happy with everything they've sent me. It feels built like a truck. It does. Really, really solid. This does not feel cheap at all. This is the opposite of like a cheap feeling keyboard. This is like a, oh my gosh, like premium feeling keyboard. It's amazing. Well done, NuPhy, for that. They're not paying me to say that either, and I really like it. I was trying to think if there's anything I can really tell right off the bat that I hate about this. I don't have anything yet. Maybe something would come after weeks and weeks of use, but at the moment, I've been typing on it and typing on it again and typing on it again and pouring through it. Everything just feels solid. I like it. Pete approved. All right. Thank you for watching KeebNews family. I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are. Drop me comments or notes or questions on the NuPhy Halo65 in the comments, or if you just want to troll me there too, that's okay. I feel you. All right. Have a lovely day. Adios.